So Valkia is probably the most popular of the 4 champions, kind of running into this in terms of her standing in the community, and I can really can see why. A lot of Khorne characters can become a bit of one note, right? They're just like smashy smash, burny burn. Whereas Valkia has this really interesting focus on the kind of more honourable side of Khorne, and the idea of she's going out there finding worthy warriors and kind of bringing them up. So she fit really, really well with the new warband mechanics that we talked about for Words of Chaos. This whole idea of, okay, yeah, you find these marauders, they become warriors, they become chosen. The flip side of that, though, is she's less than happy about people who maybe don't live up to those ideals, right? The kind of running theme for a lot of our Khorne characters is this idea that they can fight multiple battles in a turn, they can ping pong between different battles. Valkia has a kind of fun twist on it where it's if the enemy retreats, that's when she gets her bonus movement, because she's kind of punishing them for having the temerity to retreat from an honourable battle. Again, so much having this kind of Khorne themes, but giving Valkia's kind of unique spin on it.
The book was a huge inspiration for us to get the base of the character, understand how she behaves, and translate that in her animation. She's the true leader of her people, a fierce warrior, and she strikes fear in her enemy. We made sure to have her doing quick movement in her attack animation to show how skillful she is as a warrior.
Obviously the cool thing about Valkia is she's very Khorne. She's Khorne to a T. So again, we looked at how did Khorne sound, and we're like, well, where can we improve this? And I think this is another one where I think VFX did a phenomenal job of giving us really exciting visuals so we could push it in a different direction. Like they put a lot of like lightning sizzles in there, and that just made the job so much easier to do Valkia. And it was our sound designer Liam Price who did Valkia. A really cool recording that Liam did for Valkia is he had a glass bottle, put a microphone in it, and he was rubbing some coins at the bottom of it, and it gave him this really sort of chimey type things, because she has an ability called Demon Shield, which is this big glassy ability that appears around her that comes from her Demon Shield. We needed glass, and we did it, and it matched the visuals perfectly. It was really good sound design, but it just wasn't quite Khorne enough yet, because the visuals are purple for this spell, and Khorne's normally red, and it's weird, but color does influence the decisions we make. So we were like, let's find how we can make this really Khorne. So what Liam did was he put a lot of really creepy whispers on it, put some big impacts on the beginning of it, just made it a bit more aggressive, and then suddenly we had a Khorne shield. That was really cool.
Yeah, so Valkia is an absolute melee powerhouse, which is no surprise. She flies, she's anti-large, she's got all the tools she needs to deal with these kind of big monsters. She's got a couple of really good abilities in the Demon Shield, which grants her a temporary invulnerability. And you've also got the Spear Slampnir, which is kind of like a directed wind attack, which erupts the ground towards her enemies, which is really good for breaking up formations.
And the final thing I think really can get a shout out is the front end video. Because I really hope when players boot up the game for the first time and they see that new, very fantastic Champions of Chaos background that we've made, that was done fantastically by Cinematics team, is just how unique the sound design is. Like again, if you turn the music off and really just listen to the soundscape, I hope it sells the vibe of what this DLC is about. I was really trying that from the first instance that the player boots up the game, this feels like Champions of Chaos. It feels like the tone of Champions of Chaos. It's a new experience. You've got a new content pack. Instantly, it's different. It's really creepy, lots of spooky ghosts. I processed the Chaos War Shrine vocals, made them sound really distant, like they're screaming across a battlefield, and they're just going to play randomly for it, because it's self-generating and all the sounds kind of build themselves once the game starts. So once you hit play, we don't necessarily know what's going to happen. I've set all the parameters. All these sounds will play, some fire, some rock rubble. I don't know when. It's all set to random parameters. So every time you listen to that front end, it should sound different.